Okay, good Erev Shabbos, everyone. We are learning the 11th parak of Zevachim, Mishna and Mishna Vav, sponsored Lila Nishmas Dov Ben Chaim, L'Refu Shalema, for Eliyahu Moshe Ben Chayesara, Yaakov Ben Bas Yaleah, for the Schus of Avram and Yom Ben Ishmael Malkiudas and family. We're sponsored by the Fisher family, Lila Nishmas Basi Bas Rabbat, Shlomo Ben Avram Alevi, Pero Bas Ruvain, the Neshama Shirav and Aliyah, by Yol Klugman and family, for their Parnasa, Gesund and Nachas. We are sponsored by L'Refu Shalema, for Avigdor Aryeh Ben Rivka, Hinda Bas Chayesara, Chana Bas Shoshabina, Rivka Bas Shivaleh, Moshe Meir Ben Esther Fradel, Yitzchak Ben Sia Mendusha, and Meir Ben Chayesara. They should have a Refu Shalema B'Seich Sharchel Yisrael. Again, we're talking about where the blood sprays on a piece of clothing. And remember, we have to launder it b'makom kadosh, in the Azara, applying the 7 detergents listed in Masechtas Nida for detecting if something is dam nida. So beged shiyatzu chutz la'kloim, if it was taken outside of the curtains, meaning outside of the Azara, Nichnas, return it to the Azara, umechabsei b'makom kadosh, and launder it as you're supposed to in the holy place. Nitma chutz l'kloim, if the beged became tamei, so if it became tamei, then you can't bring it in the Azara while it's tamei, nor can you put it in a mikveh, because then you would be starting to remove the blood, and you're not supposed to do that outside of the makom kadosh. Therefore, koro, you tear it along the majority, thereby taking away its tumah, because once you tear it along the majority, its tumah goes off. Then v'nichnas, then you bring it inside. Now it's not tumah anymore. Umechapsei b'makom kadosh. Now remember, we said a klei cheres that absorbs from the chatas, since after a day and a night the absorption is nicer and is this a chorus, and you can't purge a klei cheres, you have to break it b'makom kadosh. Klei cheres sheyotzu chutz l'kloim, if the klei cheres was taken outside of the Azara, nichnas, you bring it back in the Azara, v'shayver b'makom kadosh, and you break it there. What happens if the klei cheres becomes tamei? Nitma chutz l'kloim. Now, if the klei cheres becomes tamei, again, you perforate it, so it loses its status of a keli, and then v'nichnas v'shayvrei b'makom kadosh, then you bring it in, once it's not tumah anymore, because once it loses its status of a keli, the tumah goes off, and you break it b'makom kadosh. Now that's true with a klei cheres. What about klei nechoshes? What about a copper keli that has absorption, which you're supposed to purge and rinse in the makom kadosh? Sheyatzu chutz l'kloim, if it was taken out, no problem, bring it back in. Nichnas u'morkei v'shaytfei, purge it and rinse it off b'makom kadosh. Nidma chutz l'kloim, let's say you took it out and it became tamei. Now while it's tamei, you can't bring it back in, right? So what do you do over here? Now, what you do is poichasai, you make a big hole in it, and then v'nichnas umorkei v'shaytfei, then you bring it back in, and then you purge it and rinse it off b'makom kadosh. Yeah, it's interesting. You might ask, when it's outside and it became tamei, why aren't you just toivelin in the mikveh? You can't do that with a klei cheres, but you could do that with a metal keli. The answer is because if you would be toivelin in the mikveh, you would be removing some of the residual chatas, and you're not supposed to do that outside of the makom kadosh. Therefore, you have to make a hole in it. After making a hole in it, it becomes tar. Then you bring it in and you purge it and you rinse it. Okay, we want to remind you that Motzi Shabbos, you could join our Zoom daf at 10:10, when we learn Tu Blat. Go to zoomdaf.com, upload Zoom on your phone, on your computer, on your laptop. Go to zoomdaf.com and put in meeting code, all caps, RMMW, all capitals. We'd love to have you during the week. It's 8:10. Also, Rabbi Isai, we want to remind you that we are looking for a sponsor for this coming week's share. 718-916-3100, rmmwsi@aol.com. Already, hello. Remember, give a lot of tzedakah, and thank you for joining us, and have a wonderful Shabbos.